for self-sufficiency in petroleum products. But analysts say it is expected to meet Nigeria's full demand and potentially make the country a net exporter of petroleum products. Mr. Ahmed Akombi is a public affairs analyst and investment entrepreneur. He was on our flagship show, Business Nigeria. He commended this development and highlighted some attendant benefits to the Nigerian economy.
Good news should not just stop at Dangote Refinery has started producing PMS. The good news should be at what cost is it going to be supplying the PMS to the Nigerian people, the pump price? And in this regard, there's no longer cost of shipment. That has been eliminated. There's no longer cost of international insurance. That has also been eliminated. Then there's no import duty to pay.
Yes.
I'll recall that when Dangote Refinery started producing diesel, before that time, at the point in time in this country, the cost of diesel rose to about 1,700 naira. True. But when Dangote came on board, it crashed to slightly over, at a point it even came to 900.
Yes.
So I would want to believe that when Dangote begins to supply his PMS to the public, there should be an effect, a positive effect on the cost of the price of PMS. It should come down, possibly by 20%, 30%, or even less.
Meanwhile, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria is set to establish a new not-for-profit governance code aimed at enhancing transparency and accountability within the sector. This announcement came during a hybrid stakeholders engagement and consultation held in Lagos, where key figures in the industry gathered to discuss or review the draft code. Now, Dr. Rabi Olowo, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the FRC, emphasized the importance of the stakeholders' involvement in shaping the code. He further explained that the code's implementation would foster transparency, accountability, and trust within organizations.
Because it is absolutely critical to our national life and also our international reputation and how people see us from far and near, which led to setting up of a technical committee under the headship of Mr. M.K. Ahmed, a role model in corporate governance practices, and the outcome was the successful completion and release of the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance, NCCG 2018, for the private sector. This acclaimed success, so far, recorded both in the implementation and the compliance of the NCCG 2018 by private sector entities, gave the impetus to a new move by the council once again to develop codes for the other two very critical sectors, the public sector and the not-for-profit sector institutions.
For us as the Nigerian network of NGOs, it's one code that we have engaged since 2012. So that code itself has a journey from when it was first muted to when there were some backlash and pushbacks on it, now to when we now have something that is technically co-created by government and also civil society.
On the outlook for Japanese exports. AI chip-making titan NVIDIA experienced the worst day in history of the stock market yesterday, as measured by loss in total market value. NVIDIA has ridden the AI hype wave to become one of the most valuable brands on the planet, achieving a $3 trillion valuation that puts it among giants like Apple and Microsoft. Its 9.5% share declined by $279 billion, outpaced the previous record of $240 billion set by Meta in 2022. Largest individual shareholder and CEO of the company, Mr. Jensen Huang, lost $10 billion in wealth from NVIDIA's sharp tumble. The company has been on decline since June 18, when it topped $3.3 trillion in value, the highest for any public company. And finally, on business news, crude oil prices ticked up in Asian trade this Friday, with investors exercising caution ahead of key U.S. employment data as they weigh a big withdrawal from U.S. crude inventories and a delay to production hikes by OPEC producers. Now, WTI, that's U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude, sells at $69.12 with a price decline of 0.04%. Brent experienced an upward price review of 0.04%, selling at $72.72. Bonnie Light sells at $78.62, with a downward price margin of 2.84%. And for the OPEC basket, dealers are offering $73